Donald Trump will be former years of the same or worse.
Protesting is not burning or looting or violating and can't be tolerated.
Folks, it's my coach used to say it's go-to time. It's go time now.
Look, Donald care doesn't understand health care.
What is the song I would have to play to get you hyped up?
Yeah.
Well, there's two of them. One, Aretha Franklin's Respect. The country of anything we need is some respect. R-E-S-P-C-T.
500 million people have watched what I've done out of my basement. I'm back. I've been here a number of times. I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont?
Have you been tested for some degree of cognitive decline?
I've been tested and I'm constantly tested.
Please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive
No,
test?
I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. But in the 2020 census, which is now 2 censuses ago, soon to be, stop the Cold War future that we're talking about. We're talking about a peaceful Cold War. What are we talking about? I know which path we'll choose. If that's raining outside, come on in, guys. I don't want anybody out there. Are you guys in the rain? Or is that not rain? Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. It's a joke. You know where we were. Anyway, I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. We'll see who's sleepy.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They're the only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. Doug Emhoff, Kamala's wife. We should make sure that we have no one going to jail for a drug offense. They go directly mandatory prison in a long time. 4 more years of Georgia, he going to find ourselves in a position where if I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words. I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned, and the number of clips in a gun banned. Lonnie knows I believe this every fiber of my being. We're posed. What I propose is on politics like prevailing and look. Yes, I'm taking too much time, but the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. Rock and I think it's a right for people that bad in health care. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman. And so we have to just change the culture and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It's a gigantic issue.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
4 more years of Donald Trump will go down as an aberration. 8 more years of Donald Trump will change America in a fundamental way.
This is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, you switched on me. This is my wife, this is my sister. They switched on me. Just what we did in the last administration and before, we provide efficiency for appliances. Billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of, I think it's $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm ready on day one after more than 3 years in office. Why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up. To make sure everyone's included on the deal. It would put
720 million women back in the workforce.
The entire U.S. population is only 330 million.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. You can't make a federal mandate, but I would insist that, in fact, it would be mass. I'd lay out a plan, a detailed plan, which I have laid out in detail.
Would you use your federal leverage to mandate that, though?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes, I would.
So you would, in effect, mandate the wearing of masks?
I would do everything possible to make it required that people had to wear masks. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Let's make sure our caregivers, mostly women of color, immigrants, cut in half the number uninsured of the Asian American Pacific Islander community.
You got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Social justice, 1, 2, 3.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over if you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. We have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. We choose truth over facts. China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the in the west. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me. And you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration. Before this. We don't do things like those chumps out there with a microphone are doing, the Trump guy. This isn't a political statement like those ugly folks over there beeping the horns. Earlier today, there are 80 Trump pickup trucks with flags riding around my block, beeping their horns for a couple hours. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Why attack Sanders? Why?
You're getting nervous, man. In my household, you could never, ever say, you get in a fight with somebody, you could never say anything about them that was true. You couldn't say if they were 300 pounds, you couldn't say you're fat. You couldn't say you're skinny. Let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Look, fat, look, here's the deal. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. Look at the way you have governors like Cuomo who are out there just keeping everybody informed all day. I think he's doing an incredible job. The Senate, as of 10 minutes before I got in this call, the program, it's about speed. Now it's about speed to slow this down. We're going to bring together Americans of every race. Before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his tests and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world.
Would you or would you not rejoin the TPP, yes or no?
I would not rejoin the TTP. We're in the middle of a pandemic that had cost us more than 85,000 jobs as of today. Lives of millions of people. Eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth. $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 trillion. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion. My long time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend. That's exactly what Brock and I talked about. Donald Trump, President Trump. Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper. Unnecessarily, now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. Yes, and by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.